Now, I really don't like to do this before the video gets started, but what I'm about to show you in this video is truly shocking, to say the least. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I truly believe that they don't want you to see what you're about to see. So would you please support this video by hitting the thumbs up button and sharing this video to help push it out to more people. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it more than you know.
You should be ashamed of yourself. They're blocking the removal.
But this was the most shocking part of the night. It doesn't get any more insane than this.
These people are crazy.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. So the State of the Union was last night, and it was definitely one for the history books. Look at this. A 63% positive rating. And that's CNN that's admitting that. You know, regardless of how you feel about Trump's second term, there are so many things that are benefiting Americans. And I also think that, well, we would all have some issues with how some things are being handled. But this speech, I believe, reignited the fire that freedom-loving Americans needed. However, Trump's speech didn't just bolster America-loving Americans. It also showed just how dark the left are. You know, this State of the Union had some of the most insane and downright unbelievable moments of any address before it. You know, there were demons there last night. And in this video, I'm going to show you all of my favorite highlights from the night, but I'm also going to show you how the left proved just how demon-possessed they truly are. In one of the most stunning displays of hatred and wickedness that you will see. Now, I'm saving the most shocking clip for last, where Trump just goes off on the Democrats directly to their faces after they expose themselves in the middle of his speech. You don't want to miss any of this. But first, really quickly, I want to share something with you that I think can radically change your life for the better. Okay, can we be honest for a second? The math just isn't adding up. Between the grocery store and those skyrocketing insurance premiums, even with a steady job, more families are being forced to rely on high-interest credit cards to cover expenses. Now, if you're a homeowner and you're caught in that cycle, carrying balances with interest rates in like the 20s or even 30s, it's time to get some relief. Right now, mortgage rates are at a 3-year low, and my friends at American Financing are helping homeowners pay off that high interest debt and get rates in the low 5s. Yes, you heard that right. In fact, their salary-based mortgage consultants don't ever push loans. They build exit strategies from debt. On average, they're saving customers like $800 a month. Plus, if you start today, you may even be able to delay your next 2 mortgage payments. There are no upfront fees or obligations to find out how much you can save. America's home for home loans is American Financing. Call 866-887-1201. That's 866-887-1201. Or go to americanfinancing.net/Riggs. Okay, so Trump starts out the night by honoring the men's USA hockey team for their incredible gold medal win over Canada. The first gold medal win in men's hockey since 1980 in the Olympics. I love how he started the night basically setting the tone of patriotism and that America is strong in everything that we do.
Here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
And they all start chanting USA. It's so awesome. You know, I thought it was extremely important that Trump did this because it shows that America is strong again. And even in little things like this, where it's just the men's hockey team at the Olympics winning gold. Yeah, it's so inspiring though. And that's what we need in America again. In fact, go watch my 2 videos on the Olympics. One, this Olympian mocked God and immediately paid for it at the Winter Olympics. In my other video, they tried to block this video. I go over the incredible patriotism displayed by the USA men's hockey team, but I also show you the Olympians that mocked God and disrespected America in front of the world and immediately paid for it at the Olympics. Then Trump turned to the historic decline in violent crimes and murders in the U.S. 2 things the left hate to see.
And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. It's a long time ago.
He goes on to say he would hate me saying that. Now, this is one of those statements that you wonder, is Trump over exaggerating just a little bit? No, he wasn't, because even CBS did a fact check and confirmed that it was all true. They had to admit a CBS News fact check has determined that this is true. Now, it doesn't get any better than watching the mainstream media have to admit this. Remember, the left are the party of violence and destruction, as they will confirm in just a moment.
I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
Okay, I want you to notice he said violent repeat offenders stay behind bars, and look at the Democrats sitting on their butts. Now, this is just one of the many times throughout the night where the Democrats showed their true colors. Again, as if we all didn't know this by now. But this isn't the most shocking part of the night. It gets much worse, at least for the Democrats.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Want them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a social security card.
I love that he pointed that out.
Identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Look at the Democrats just sitting on their butts again. You know, it's incredible because the same people that forced you to get the jab and show documentation as proof that you were jabbed or you lose your job and be ostracized from society want to make it illegal to require ID to vote. Makes total sense, right? But I just have to point this out. CNN did a segment where they showed the percentage of Americans that are in favor of showing photo ID to vote.
Favor photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race.
How insane is this? Is this a different universe we're in where CNN is running a segment where they just said what he just said on live TV? By the way, this clip shows that the Democrats are literally fighting against Americans on this issue, which is what they do. Of course they are. Think about the power that the radical left agenda has. It has infiltrated almost all of government, the education system, entertainment, every movie, show, kids show. I have videos on all this, by the way. It all has an agenda to it. Every corporation, healthcare, everything has been radicalized by the radical left. Yet the Democrats still need to fight against voter ID to have a chance at winning elections. Think about that for a second. You know, that actually gives me some hope. Now, this was an incredibly shocking moment of the night, and it isn't even the most shocking moment of the night. It just shows you how bad it's going to continue to get for the Democrats.
No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
Yeah, you heard it. Trump called him out. The Democrats didn't stand for Irina Zarutska or her grieving mother, something no mother should ever have to go through. And they sat there and scoffed at her. Criminals matter more to the left than law-abiding American citizens. Legal and illegal criminals. Doesn't matter. In fact, one of the most annoying things that has come out because of the policies of the left is the annoying glass over everything at Walmart. Not just Walmart, every store. Stores have to lock stuff down to punish you, a law-abiding citizen. A kid can't even look at a box of Legos anymore without ringing the stupid little bell to summon the mythical Walmart employee. There's a better chance that Bigfoot exists than the guy that has the key at Walmart. But instead of tackling crime and actually punishing criminals, the left says, let's just punish everybody else by making society look like a prison while criminals roam free. It's a demoralizing tactic. Don't let them demoralize you. And this is where it starts to ramp up and lead into the most shocking part of the night. Look at Trump calling on Democrats to stand for American citizens.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Look at that. Wow. Insane. The left can't stand for American citizens. Look at the Democrats. Disgusting. That's the face of a man that hates you. In fact, I love what Trump said to the Democrats for not standing.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
So the Democrats refused to stand for American citizens. They refused to stand when Trump asked everybody to stand if they were in agreement that these legislators, those who were elected by American citizens, that they should put American citizens first. And they refused to stand. In fact, right on cue, they pulled the race card.
Think about that moment when the president was asking Democrats to stand up for American citizens during that part of the speech when he was talking about immigration and immigration enforcement efforts.
I think you can agree with the what, like standing up for American citizens, but I disagree with the how. And so it's always about how do we bring our country together, but not stand on the backs of others. There's thinly veiled racist language, anti-immigrant language in what he was asking, and that was uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable for her. Oh, her feelings. These people are insane to a degree that it blows your mind to try to comprehend how insane you have to be to have a mind like these people. In fact, Romans chapter 1 talks about these kinds of people, how they've been given over to a debased mind, a mind that doesn't work properly. Debased means that their mind is now unfit. It no longer properly functions. And so they are without excuse, it says. So they know the truth, yet they are given over to their wicked, demonic passions. And that's why these people can be so cold-hearted and destructive. But this was the most shocking part of the night. It doesn't get any more insane than this.
But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we've been talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
Of course, Democrats aren't standing.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
And he knows it. He just smiled like, yeah, we are.
Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time.
These are the faces of people that hate you so much. These people are backwards on everything. The Bible tells us who these people are. Again, in Romans 1, they are backwards on everything. Not just backwards, upside down, insane, Looney Tune, demonic. It's demonic oppression that leads to this. Every single one of these people that you're looking at that can't stand up for children and who those children were born to be under God's creation, they are demon possessed. These people are entertaining demons, and Satan has them right where he wants them. But I want to end with this. Right after some of my favorite verses in Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7, it goes on in verse 8 to say this: finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.